Hey everyone, and welcome to the Giant Blue Podcast. I'm your host Jack. With me, as always, is your co-host Felix Baker and Shang. And today, this is a special Disney Princess podcast because why not?
We decided that like 8 minutes ago.
I had like 5 topics to choose from, and I couldn't decide. And then we're just like, why not? Let's just do a themed one.
Let's limit you. Yeah. First of the theme podcast.
The first of the theme ones. Yeah. Because who knows where this could take us.
We should have dressed up as Disney princesses.
I feel like that's... now I want to cut and start again now. Yeah. All right. Maybe
next time.
Next time. Yeah. Or at least Disney princesses or something. Yeah.
Actually, one of my roommates is starting up a I don't know the word for it, like facial making up, like touching up. What are they called? You know,
like a makeup thing.
Makeup artist. She's starting up one of those businesses. She's like,
Who's
hey,
this?
Felix, Clara.
Oh, wow.
Like, Felix, I was wondering if I could maybe do your face. And I was like sitting there playing Xbox. I was like, what the fuck? Hell no.
Just do it.
I work at this. No.
I work at this.
Just go and model.
We had a friend, she was doing like a beauty course or something like that, a makeup course. And I remember she messaged, I haven't talked to this girl in a while, like maybe a year or two. And out of the blue, she just messaged me like, hey Jack, like I'm doing a beauty course. And she's like, can I shave your chest or wax your chest or something like that?
Oh, Georgia.
She's like, well, yeah, I don't want to say her name, but yeah, it was just like, she's like, oh, I have to do a guy. It's like part of her criteria to meet. She needs to do a guy. And she's like, I know you're hairy or whatever. Like, she's like, I remember you being like one of the hairiest people in high school. No, I didn't. I was in Melbourne. I think she was in Darwin at the time, so it wouldn't have worked.
So you didn't chicken out. You were just too far away.
That would have been painful as fuck.
Oh, not for me, I guess.
I don't think I was really all too keen for it because I was like, it'd probably be like super itchy or something coming back like everywhere. I mean, one day I'll probably do a Brazilian or something sometime. Maybe just get everything done.
We'll live stream it for the podcast. Anyway, if there's any makeup girls out there or makeup boys, we need someone to do our hair and makeup.
I've already got one for myself.
And
we'll bring Clara along. Where's Clara when we need her?
Yeah. I reckon I could be convinced, but I think she was trying to like do me up specifically in drag, not make me look better as a dude.
Is she doing any of like those prosthetic stuff where she makes like the scars or the blood or anything like that?
No. But I did say that was the next step in special effects.
The Halloween special.
Yeah, Halloween.
Because again, another girl from high school, she went down, she did like a course like that, and she posted on Instagram. It's like this huge gash, and everyone's like, "What happened?
Who was that did that?
Yeah,
let's stop saying
yeah, and it was, but it looked real. It was impressive. And then she's like, "Guys, it's makeup, you guys." It's like, well,
oh no, what happened to you?
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that once a month just for the sympathy.
Yeah, just for the likes. Yeah.
Just for the likes.
Just a different scar.
I got this one, rock climbing in the Himalayas. Anyways, Disney princesses.
Yes, Disney princesses. Across the board, all sorts of Disney ones. And we'll probably talk about Disney princesses as well. Just Disney princes as well.
Equality.
Who's the
hottest Disney prince?
Exactly. So, as you know, on the Giant Blue Podcast, we each bring a topic to the table and pitch it at each other. We don't tell each other the topics beforehand, although we probably should start doing that. Well, you did this time.
Yeah,
and that's what tipped the scales in favor of a Disney princess themed podcast. That's what
we're prepared for that and nothing else.
Which is all you need to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Would you like to start, Felix?
Sure. Why not start strong? All right. So, you know, Disney owns everything nowadays. It's inevitable that we're going to get a MCU cross Disney princess movie. It's inevitable. I reckon 5 years, I'm guessing, that we'll get one of those movies. Right. Live action, of course. What Disney princess would best amalgamate into the MCU?
Would fit into the MCU.
Yeah.
So, as it currently is.
Yeah. So I'll let you be a little bit liberal with the Disney princess definition.
Well, because I was thinking of Leia. That was my first guess. I was like...
That crossed my mind also too.
Leia in like...
That's too liberal.
That's too liberal.
But her like sweeping in to take out the Kree or something, and then like Iron Man flanking
that
from the other side.
That totally makes sense, actually, yeah.
Right.
Seeing us all
win.
ending up in space. But no Leia.
Too liberal.
So
okay.
I really like this. I like jumped into... I was like thinking about all these different ones and who like actually has powers.
Yeah.
And then I thought a really interesting way to think about it was like... You know how they have the teams like in Civil War? Or even like the New Avengers, and you pick each one. So it was like, okay, at the end of Avengers 2, there's like the New Avengers, and you have like Scarlet Witch, who's kind of like the replacement Hulk.
Yeah.
And then you have
Vision.
Vision, who's kind of like a replacement for Thor. Falcon is kind of a replacement for Hawkeye because he's just like a human. So I was like, okay, what are like the Disney princesses that fit into those roles?
Okay.
So who's like the real powerful one?
Jeez, you've gone right.
And I think up the top, you got Elsa. with the ice powers.
Yeah.
She's like, I mean, Marvel doesn't have X-Men, that's Fox. So you got Elsa right there with the ice powers.
She's like the Hulk.
So they don't. Yeah, you're right. None of those exist.
Would she be? Yeah, I guess. She's
the
pretty
powerhouse.
powerful. She is the power.
Well, she's the one who's
the
like
queen,
tearing
too.
down cities with snowstorms.
And can create
and
life, apparently. Yeah. Which wasn't addressed.
An army of snowmen.
She just made a sentient snowman, and he doesn't question it at all.
Just an army, like
I would love, yeah, like the adventures of. Oh, what's his bloody name? The snowman.
Olaf.
Like
that's coming.
Like existential crisis.
Like, why do I exist?
He's like Elsa. Can you make me a girlfriend? Yeah. Like,
she's like, no. That could be a nice way to bring Frankenstein into the whole, like, I don't know. Frankenstein was his whole like dilemma. It was like, why do I exist? Why can't I find love and stuff?
Yeah.
And now they've got the
it's like that robot from Rick and Morty. It's
Yeah.
like, what do I do?
What's my
you
purpose?
pass butter. And he's like, oh my god.
I actually saw a Robot Wars thing the other day where someone had made the butter robot, and all it did was like shoot fire out of it. But it was like, but it was pretty funny. Yes. On Elsa, I was doing some research here, and she's not classified as a Disney princess.
She's a Disney queen.
No, that's not the reason. It's because she's so popular on her own that they don't feel it necessary to bundle her with the Disney princesses. That's literally the reason.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's some criteria for a Disney princess.
That's hilarious.
What?
Give me a second. Requirements. There's
I
only
wonder
two.
if they did that. I wonder if they thought that about Rey with the Star Wars merchandising or whatever.
Well, yeah.
What do you mean?
Kat and I, we just watched a
shoving
video
her in?
how it was like she was absent from all the merchandising.
There was like a
Do you remember
Star Wars
that?
Monopoly.
I
And it
never looked
had
at the
like
merchandising.
everyone but Rey.
It was like
what's her name?
it was the complete
Rey.
set, and it was like Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, and like nameless stormtrooper.
I think there was even like R2D2 maybe.
Yeah, and
It was,
like
old
Han and
school
Chewie,
ones.
and
Yeah,
there was
Han and
no
Chewie,
Rey.
yeah.
And the only thing I can think of that justifies that in any way is maybe they wanted to keep her Force powers a secret,
Yeah.
because that was like the marketing. You thought Finn was the Jedi, and then it turned out that Rey was.
Yeah.
But even still, they could have just not given her a lightsaber or something. I don't know. That seems stupid.
Yeah.
The whole thing was weird.
Well,
Everyone
saving
denied
it
it.
for the-
JJ was like, I don't know. Jesus was like, I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, so it's nobody's fault. Yeah, like nobody knows.
Yeah, that was crazy though. She was like the only woman in like the whole movie.
Wait, sorry. So you thought that maybe they'd save her for the Disney princess pack of figurines or
Well,
something?
no, it was more
Oh,
like
was it
how
ju-
do you
yeah.
how do you
'Cause they
make
get
a
those
Rey
separate.
figurine without a lightsaber? But then how do you not spoil that she's the Jedi?
Yeah, that's
I
fair
guess.
enough. Yeah, and then
Okay.
they have to reboot all the figurines. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so if you're taking, so Elsa's the villain then. If you don't let me have Elsa, she's the villain. Then.
She's the
Loki.
She's the Loki.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. We could recast the Avengers.
Next up, I think Mulan. She
You
replaces.
reckon?
Man, I
She
didn't even
has
think of
honor. She's a human, and she's good with the sword, and she
She's
can
a
do.
ninja.
And she's a ninja, and she saves China. And I
Yeah.
think that honor. I think she takes like the helm of Captain America.
And she's
like
already
the
got a
leader.
secret identity.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
She's a
are
leader.
you making a third team? Is that
Yeah.
what okay.
It's like Civil War
Alright, I
2,
get it.
and it's like it's Team Iron Man, Team Cap, and Team Mulan. Like,
Disney Princess War.
please jump in there.
Yeah,
Your
so
thoughts.
sorry. I was
Mulan.
thinking about. I thought about Mulan. Mulan would
I
probably
didn't
end
think
up.
of
You don't
Mulan.
have the poster up, but you know Suicide Squad. The Katana is her name. Katana.
Katana, yeah.
Katana. Yeah, I thought that maybe.
And her sword is like possessed with the soul of her husband or something.
It absorbs the souls.
I mean, I'm not
of
saying
anyone.
that
It's
maybe
like
traps the
that's
souls
stupid.
of its victims.
something like
Right.
that.
Okay.
Something
In
like
that
that.
voice.
I don't
Look,
know.
it's a great film. So why would
It's
we
an
even
Oscar-winning
just
film,
dwell
yeah.
on it? Yeah, it's
I
an
thought-
Oscar-winning film.
So there's if you guys were going to pick any, I thought there was only.
I just
really
think
three that
Mulan
you
is a
could pick.
badass, and she'll stop at nothing to save China. So,
Yeah.
and I think that kind
Yeah,
of
Mulan is a
that
really good pick.
fortitude.
I've got
is
another
like,
one.
That, I feel like that's like with Kat. Like it's like, what's that line in Civil War? It's like when people tell you to move, it's like you got to stand still and you say you move. I feel like that's Mulan. Like she'd be like, they'd be like, you got to be a man to be in the army. And she'd be like, no. And they'd be like, okay, Mulan.
Put your sword away.
Yeah. She would just fight. So she's like, doesn't have a lot of powers, but she's like.
A good leader.
She has like.
Well, she's like, I guess
she has
Kat
the
doesn't have a lot of
willpower.
powers. He just has a shield and
Yeah.
super
Well,
strength.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's enhanced. Yeah.
He's enhanced.
enhanced.
Just a good dude. Captain.
He's an
America.
alpha male. That's
She could
his
be
power.
Captain Disney Princess or something.
Captain Disney. She'd be a good leader.
I reckon. Well, Merida. She's already in the MCU.
Hawkeye.
Is already in the MCU. She could just.
She's a
she
Hawkeye
could just
then,
walk
yeah.
in, just eliminate Hawkeye, and just take his place. Be
She's
like,
a way better Hawkeye too, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Merida. She out arrows Hawkeye, yeah.
That's
I
exactly
like that.
right.
Me mum's a bear.
Where'd to fox me ball.
Does she come with the 3 minions, the little brothers?
Oh yeah.
That'd be great.
They fuck people up. Yeah, she's like throwing them at people.
Yeah, just shooting them at people, and then the kids are just like clawing at your hair or something. I don't know.
So I was thinking Jasmine.
Yeah.
She has a pet tiger.
Oh, she's right into battle on a tiger.
I just think she just sets it on people. Yeah, like
she's just standing back
Yeah,
behind everyone. Go tiger! Attack.
she's like, yeah. I think I think she's got a pet tiger. That's like, you wouldn't mess with that. Plus, like her. I mean, she's probably learned some like sword fighting skills from like Aladdin and stuff.
I feel like it's not that hard to take out an animal.
Yeah.
And then what she got? A magic carpet?
Well, does the genie help her? I don't know. That's the question.
Ooh, she can just wish that she's
not used
everyone.
It. Yeah, didn't think that. Really, I like that. I like that they said it genie free in the end of Aladdin, and Jasmine's like no, and she captures him back.
Yeah, well, she never got like a single wish. I don't know.
I think Jasmine's tough though, and I think the pet tiger. She's like the hunter.
Maybe if she did a He-Man thing and she rode the tiger into battle, and she had like I don't know what kind of weapon she'd have, but
she'd have one of those like,
just so it's a little bit less
a scimitar thing.
Oh, a sickle.
Yeah. What are they? I forgot what they're called.
A scimitar, isn't it?
No, it's like those curve. It's like what the Dothraki have.
We have a computer for a reason.
Or like the Anubis warriors or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She'd be tough.
Scythe? No, it's almost like a...
It's like Scythe
that's like a
Reaper's
Reaper's kind of like sword thing. Yeah. Whatever. Scimitar. Scimitar's right.
It is a scimitar.
So who were you thinking of when you thought of this question though?
Well, no one in particular. I was just like, fuck it, why not?
Right,
Merida. I was like, well, she's already in there.
Okay.
Alright. Not thinking so much of the MCU, although she would fit, but I'm thinking like, as you were saying, to like take over the role of an existing hero. Aquaman.
Yeah.
Ariel, that's what I thought. She fills...
Well,
because her dad dies, she takes a Triton, Queen of the Ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. She's got an army of crabs and
army of
shitty little fish.
Speak to the fish and the sharks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel has an answer to Aquaman. It's called like Namor the Submariner or something, which they could still maybe do, but I don't know if they will.
I think Fox
he's just like a diver.
No, he's like literally like Aquaman, but in the Marvel universe. Like,
it's really weird.
He's like half mermaid.
No, they're Atlanteans in the Marvel universe. They're like, that's what they like. I'm pretty sure.
Just like Aquaman.
I think so.
Huh. That's what I was thinking of. She answers that Aquaman question. Not that we needed that question. But yeah.
well, we did.
That's for next week when it's Disney princesses.
I do like Ariel. Ariel would get like too distracted by everything, though. I think.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, "Wow,
look at this!
Fork, yeah."
There are aliens destroying the city.
Wow,
a blue portal.
It's
a giant blue sky portal.
Boys, yeah.
There's definitely a couple of princesses there that I don't think can be twisted into.
I think Moana
universe.
with the water, her water powers. Oh, that's kind of like Ariel, I guess too.
Yeah.
Does she have water powers though?
She's
the water helps her maybe.
Yeah. I would much rather have.
It's like a friend or something.
What's the god's name?
Oh,
The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock. Yeah,
Maui.
He would be,
Maui.
Yeah, Maui. He'd be a great addition to the Marvel team. You're welcome.
Shapeshifter.
He just like creates a ring of volcanoes around the enemy.
Would they ever do like a musical number like the Avengers or something?
I would love that.
Inside. Oh, that would be great.
The musical episode of the
Loki
Avengers.
like puts a spell on them. They can only sing.
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
really lame.
They did that recently on The Flash, I think.
Oh, that made me so mad when I heard about that. I'm sure it's good.
But it's such a classic trope of, I guess, those sort of... I mean, Joss Whedon always does it, doesn't he?
Well, they always walk that line between the kind of campy and then like they get more serious. They sort of did it quite well.
Arrow is maybe too serious, but Flash was always real campy. They were like, hey, we're running out of villas. Here's a giant gorilla and a shark man.
Yeah.
And they fight the giant gorilla. Yeah, they do. They totally own it. They're just like, yeah, let's do it.
And they're both from Glee as well. The guy that plays Flash and the girl that plays Supergirl. I'm pretty sure they had like stints on Glee. I'm not sure if they were.
Yeah.
I never watched Glee, so I don't know.
I can't remember. I think he was in season 3 or 4 or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that far.
I
can't picture them.
My sister did. Shout out.
There's
Tangled. Can she just control her hair? She's got like the hair powers.
But she can just like
whip
people with
powers? It. Like I feel like her hair could like
Wonder Woman's lasso kind of thing.
She's like Poison Ivy or something. Like
and doesn't it
like
heal as well?
She's like the mercy medic of the group. I like that.
She's just wrapping people up in her hair.
Like what
I will heal you.
So which Disney princess fits in best to the Overwatch team?
she heals everybody,
and it glows in the dark.
Cool.
And she can
keep people
swing.
She can like grapple. Yeah, she can like grapple. They can like
that's right.
Like
she's like wow.
Swing across.
She could make a big like Hulk suit around her out of hair. She could really be anything.
She's just a ball.
Just an unstoppable ball of hair.
And then she gets a haircut and she's useless. Samson, whatever his name
is
was.
Megara. There's like
Who?
there's the main
Hercules.
there's a main stint of Disney princesses, and they don't. I believe it's Pocahontas.
That's what I'm saying. They've got
Pocahontas
restrictions on them.
Well, she's
for
like
whether
a
or not they
tracker,
can
but
be.
she's not a fighter, really.
But that could be handy.
It can be handy.
Isn't she evil? No.
Who? Pocahontas.
No, sorry.
She was the villain of the movie Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
No, it's just
She kills John Smith. It's really tragic.
the princess in Atlantis isn't counted, and she's a legitimate princess of Atlantis.
Kida.
She's just like because Atlantis wasn't that popular.
Nala.
No, it's
Nala's
Kida.
a
Or is it
lion.
Kida?
No.
Kida's Atlantis. Nala's from
Yeah, you're right.
Nala's from
Yeah, I had it right the
Lion
first time. It was Kida.
If Nala's in there, that'd be great.
Fucking Nala, yeah.
Nala.
That'd be
fuck
gnarly.
Nala.
No, she's useless.
She's a fucking lion, man.
She's a lion.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
if
picturing
if
baby
you said
Nala,
if
though.
Jasmine's just got a tiger, then if Nala
Jasmine's
is the
more
lion,
useless than Nala.
Now they got a lion and a tiger you gotta watch out for, alright?
they're on the same team. They could be on opposite teams.
See, now, and then Snow White starts singing. She's got all the creatures of the forest.
Yeah, and then Ariel talks to her underwater
fish.
pals.
Oh, yeah. All
So
of nature just
they're not
comes
doing
crashing
anything.
down.
These princesses, they're just sending
Well,
hordes of
they're princesses, I
animals
guess,
to the
that's
slaughter.
They're like the douchebags in wars. They're just like
The generals, yeah.
The generals, yeah.
Attack!
Oh my god!
You die for me, yeah. And then there's Belle
Is that
and
Aurora? Is
Aurora.
Aurora on there? So
Yeah.
she's on there. And
So what her power
really do
is
anything.
to sleep for an indefinite amount of time without aging, but she can only do it once, and she has no control over when she goes to sleep or when she wakes
She's
up.
been kissed by a dude, yeah.
I do like that. She's like, it's like the frozen in time. She goes to sleep and then waits till the battle's over, and she's like, "I survived." I'm like, well, yes, technically.
No one was attacking you because you were sleeping.
Thanos has like changed the universe. Yeah,
We need to get you sleepy. That's my secret.
I'm always
sleepy.
I'm always asleep. Yeah.
Sleep.
One of my favorite scenes from Shrek 2 is when they do the red ball and they're like, who's this? Oh, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
And they open the door and she just like falls down to the ground. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and don't
it's
they
like
say
such a
something?
throwaway gag, but I love it so much. I
And
just
they
love
say
the
that they're like,
animation.
"Oh, bless her, she's tired again."
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh man.
But
I think
speaking of
we've
Shrek,
covered everywhere there.
they have like, I think it's in Shrek 2 or 3, they have like the Disney princess montage, and she sings like, what's the song? It's like Led Zeppelin or something. She's like,
Oh, I do remember
no,
some.
it's-
I
and
remember
then,
that
like,
vaguely.
crashing.
Oh, I
One
had
of
it
the
in my
ugly
head.
stepsisters like smashes a door or something.
Oh,
It's great.
maybe. Fuck.
Who is it that headbutts like a wall?
I feel like,
I think it's
Yeah, I know, maybe.
Aurora or something like that.
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty, yeah.
And Snow White just goes all badass, and like all the creatures of the forest like running out.
Cinderella. She
Ah.
can change her costume, I guess. Well, that's the fairy godmother.
That's not a power.
Yeah,
Look,
she
none
can
of these
now
girls
I look
really
like a
have
superhero.
she can
powers.
fit into everyone's clothes.
The only one that
into
really
everyone's
has
shoes.
powers is Elsa with the ice powers. That's all I got.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, I don't. Really.
That's actually true. I mean, the Princess and the Frog. What can
got
she
like
do?
abilities.
Mia,
Oh,
or whatever
Princess
it
and the
is.
Frog
What can she do?
transform into a frog.
She doesn't turn into the frog in that one.
Well,
Does
it's
she?
like a
Doesn't
hex
she?
that someone
I
puts
think
it
she
on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So she's a
does.
shapeshifter,
She's a
just
shape-
into a frog.
But again, the villain in that is heaps more powerful, like the Voodoo Master or whatever
Yeah.
it is. He's
Maybe we
great.
should have the villains on
I can't even
in the
remember
MCU,
some of the villains.
Yeah, I can't
like
remember.
Ursula. No, Ursula wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, which Disney villain would be able to stop the Avengers?
Stop Thanos. Oh, the
Stop
Avengers.
Thanos. Oh.
Well, Jasmine's got a tiger. No one can stop.
Oh,
Jasmine
no
and
one
a
can stop the
according
tiger,
to-
yeah.
I guess Megara from Hercules, she's like not a princess, but she's awesome.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't a princess.
But she's not really
She's
a
too
fighter
sassy.
either.
She's more like adult. They're all like kind of kids. She's like so adult.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
been burned before and made her so unique. Like
Yeah.
out of all those films, she's so different to all
She's
the
one of
other
the
ones.
best characters in the
She's
whole
not like
world.
ditzy, huge eyes or whatever. She's like sassy and confident and like
Yeah.
It's such
she's
an
like,
old one
don't
too,
you,
yeah.
don't you mess with me.
That movie is amazing, and she's like a big part of the reason why.
So
Hercules might be
So you
my
want to be a hero,
favorite.
kid?
My favorite. Like, everyone loves Lion King. Like that's like a lot of people's go-to. I think Hercules might be my favorite
Yeah.
Disney animated film from that sort of era. I think.
That's another question.
Mm.
I mean, I would.
I like.
Hercules would be very high on my list as well. But I always
Well,
saw-
Hercules, he'd be great in the MCU.
Yeah.
He's tough as nails.
Go right up against Hulk
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah,
He takes down one of those big minotaur things or something.
Yeah.
So while I was doing this research, I
Okay.
realized one of the conditions for a Disney princess is that they can't appear in their own sequel in a sequel,
What do you
which I thought that was
really?
pretty interesting. Yeah.
What? They can't appear in their own sequel.
Primarily, they cannot appear in a sequel, so they have to mainly be like they have to have their one movie and then not appear in.
And that's like an official guideline
But
to
there's-
being a
but
Disney
there's
princess.
Mulan.
One of the things.
Does
Yeah,
V-
that's
does
well,
straight
that
to
all of
video
them is
count?
there.
Video count? Because
Because
pretty much all of them
Mulan,
have
they've
been.
Mulan 2 and Little Mermaid 3 and whatnot, Cinderella 4.
Aladdin 2, Aladdin 3. Or does it not
The
count
fuck are you
because...
talking about?
This is real.
Really?
They're
Oh,
straight
yeah.
to DVD. Like, I haven't seen any of these
What the
except for
fuck
Aladdin.
kind of requirement are they?
Aladdin King
This
of
is supposed to
Thieves
be-
is a really good movie.
This is
Why
supposed to
is
be
everyone so
the
thirsty for Aladdin's
fandom
dad?
Wikia
That's the
page.
thing, isn't it?
What? Oh,
pretty sure
shoot.
it's a
Because
thing.
he's like, he's kind of roguish.
Is he? Is he?
I guess.
Go
I
on,
don't
tell
know.
me, Jack.
I don't know. I can't
Describe
remember.
him.
I've not heard this fantasy, but I'm
Oh, okay.
assuming. Well, I don't know. You
I
gotta
don't
watch
know.
Aladdin King of Thieves. It's an awesome movie because Return of Jafar was the second Aladdin, and they didn't get Robin
Oh.
Williams back for that, and they did King of Thieves, and they were able to get Robin Williams back for
Really?
King of Thieves. King of Thieves is awesome.
Jeez.
It's very
I didn't know
underrated,
there was-
overlooked movie.
I didn't know there was 3.
I thought there was literally only like one movie for all of
No,
these.
there's
This is I'm reading
almost
this off
all
of
of them have...
I had
the
it- I had it
official
on
Disney
VHS.
Princess
I downloaded it.
Wikia
Isn't there like
fandom
4
page.
Lion Kings?
There
It's
was
like at least 3.
there was Lion King 2, Simba's
That's
Pride.
why Nala's not a
Which I
Disney
never saw.
princess.
It was
clearly.
Simba's Pride, which was about Simba's kid. And then 3 was like about Timon and Pumbaa or something like that. I never watched them. I never watched 2 or 3. Well, I might have seen 2 when I was like really young, but I never.
I
don't
thought that
remember
Timon
it.
and Pumbaa was 2.5, and then there was a third one.
Yeah, they did
I
do
don't
that.
know.
I
This,
thought
there is a
1.5,
there's a show on at
Maybe
the
it's
moment called
1.5.
The Lion Guard, which is about Simba's like other kid or something, which I haven't seen. But the animation looked kind of cool. I thought. I don't know how good it is.
Because
I've not
his
seen it.
kid
Didn't
gets
know any of
with
these existed.
Mufasa's. No, not
Except for the-
Mufasa's. Gets with Scar's kid, I think. Scar's kid is like this like
Yeah.
sexy dark lion.
Like My Chemical Romance was a lion or something.
Like tinted hair.
Yeah, he is. He's like.
he does though. He has like a mohawk.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
so
the
one
way
eye.
they've drawn the mane. It's
Oh,
like
no.
the emo bang kind
Oh,
of thing. I
fucking
think
hell.
it's and he's yeah.
I remember that when I was like 8. All the
He
girls
had-
were like,
he had
"Oh, look how hot
attitude.
this lion is." And I'm
It's
like, "All
weird.
right."
When there's some talented artists at Disney. The way they do that, the way you kind of like you're like I'm oddly attracted to this thing.
Sexualized
Like the
those
bunny in
four-legged animals.
Zootopia, like when she's
Oh.
in the yoga pants, whatever. You're just like, I'm questioning.
not an
Stop
old
it.
movie.
Shut
I'm
it.
questioning everything I know right
This
now.
is like a year ago. It's
Well,
not
what
an old
I love all the
movie.
memes that
You're
like
like an adult, mate.
I love all the memes that came out about that. It was like, like some people were like, "Oh, I like that the bunny and the fox like have this like platonic friendship," and then the other half was like, "They need to bang right now."
Yeah, the
Like-
furries went nuts for it. They were like, "Look at this tiger. He's such a man." I was like, oh, jeez.
Oh, you fucking disgust me.
It wasn't that bad. No.
I hope it wasn't.
It was
What?
worse. It was so
Alright.
much worse.
No.
Idris Elba as a literal bull.
I mean, more so with like just the way they draw some of the cartoons. Well, all right. Do you want to lead into my topic then?
Yeah,
Oh.
Who's
if you reckon it
hottest
works.
Disney princess?
That's well.
Because the
me
way
and
they
Sean
draw
talked
some
about
of these
this.
characters is like Jasmine's up there. She might be the hottest. She's got that like she's cool.
Are we going to put photos on the screen as we talk about
And for the record, we'll do Disney Prince as well, then maybe.
All right.
Because Hercules will be up there, I think. You can't argue.
So
with that.
If you're into
Cosmopolitan
that.
actually did
What,
this.
to like the what do they call him? The Boy Scout.
Boy Scout?
Would you
What do
call
mean?
Hercules a boy? Like
Oh,
it's like
he's like a
Superman.
good boy.
Yeah, he's like a goody
Oh,
two
yeah,
shoes.
yeah,
and He's
yeah.
like has to help everybody.
Yeah.
But he
he's a
also
boy
like
Scout.
he could.
But he's
lift,
also
he
like
could,
the
he could-
tank.
Yeah, he's jacked. He could like live. He's like he could lift up the car. He's like Superman.
If you like a guy with 3 meter wide shoulders, sure.
yeah, you could do that. Why wouldn't you?
You don't want to be able to wrap around them.
Well, I love like it's like this is what. Well, it's obviously not like the best thing now, but like those, I do like when people point it out. Is like this is why women have unrealistic expectations of their body,
Well, like
and it has
Meg.
like Jasmine's waist, and it's literally like that.
So
thin.
is Meg's,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah. They're just
She's got like
it's
the skirt
tiny.
like pops out at her waist, but her like midriff.
Meg from
eh?
Hercules.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
They
Yeah,
all
yeah.
have just such like thin
Like,
waist sort of thing.
This thin, it's
Mm.
crazy.
Which I never picked up on it as a kid, but yeah, because it comes from like it comes from almost like caricatures, the way they
Yeah.
over exaggerate body types.
Yeah,
Like,
but
guys have the huge. I mean, and that's the other funny thing is like I never like was like, oh, I'll never look like Hercules.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he's.
I think the counterpoint to that
he's
is that the men are
huge.
ridiculous as well.
They're like ridiculous. And they have
They have
small waists
tight
too. They're like
pants,
that,
like,
and then they
there
have
was like
these-
triangular.
this massive
Yeah.
V with these huge shoulders.
Fuck that,
and,
it's
like,
impossible.
All the thighs and stuff like that.
So someone's actually like done rankings of the hottest.
Well, we're doing
It's kinda
our
creepy.
rankings. We're doing
All right. So who's
Again, this is
right
what
at the
I
top of your
want a whiteboard
list?
to like draw.
Yeah. I think Elsa's
Do you guys
up there
wanna-
for me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a bit plain, I reckon, in my mind.
I don't know. I like blondes.
What do you think of
Well, it's
Rapunzel?
like
then? She's
Yes.
she's kind of young, but she's really cute.
she's pretty
and
young.
she's like,
yeah.
I
I feel
well.
weird saying. Oh, like,
She's
yeah,
cool.
Rapunzel.
I had a friend we saw that. Yeah, he was just like.
I mean,
he's
if she
he's
was
like,
18?
that's the hottest- well, that's what my friend was like. I was just like, that's the hottest Disney character. It's like, settle down, like. It's just CGI.
And her hair's really long too. I feel like that'd just get.
Well, that's
in
if
the
you got
way.
into it. I feel like they're all quite young. Like, isn't Ariel like 14 or something?
Yeah.
Alright, this
yeah.
got-
Yeah,
this
they're all
took a-
doing that, like,
this
running
took
away
a
from
creepier
there.
turn than I didn't expect it to.
Okay,
I do think
assuming that they're
Jasmine's
all
probably the
over
hottest.
age, assuming that
Okay.
we don't have to be gross pedos about it.
Wow.
What about
Because this isn't sexist.
Pocahontas has really
This
nice
is just
legs.
ranking women. That's all it is.
Pocahontas has really nice legs. She's like running through the forest. Like, does that song? I can't remember. It's like.
I reckon Belle.
Mm.
Belle?
She's
The-
yeah.
She's out.
Well, she's
I
like
guess think for
sexy
brown
'cause
hair.
she's so
Yeah.
intelligent as well.
I'm gonna go with Jasmine.
I'm thinking Meg. I
Mm.
love how sassy she is.
Probably yeah, it's neck and neck, but I think
She's great.
Merida?
No, don't be weird.
What?
With the curly
She's
hair,
young
is
now,
that your
but-
type?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
She was like 12 in that as well.
She's not 12.
She's not 16.
Okay, assuming that she's overage. Which I said, so that we're not weird about
Alright,
it. Fucking making me feel
Alright,
so
well,
uncomfortable,
we
guys.
can go for Merida. Alright, sure. I'm not going to
Yeah,
judge you
yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Well, wait. Who's the other chick that's not Elsa that's in
Anna.
Frozen? Anna. She's the most bland, forgettable character
Yeah,
ever. She's got
definitely.
no like. I'm sorry for Frozen fans.
Short brown hair or
She's
something.
the
I
most
don't know.
like. She just does nothing.
She's kinda-
There's no. What's the word? Like
She's
depth
just
to her.
individuality.
She literally just...
Not like to
What,
her
you mean
character.
her character?
Her
or-
character.
Yeah, okay.
She's like there's no depth to her. There's nothing that makes her unique in any way. She's
think-
just quippy and annoying.
I think that was what they wanted her to be, though, because they like Frozen was like this new sort of like wave of Disney where they were like, "Hey, this is a Disney princess who's like so desperate to get married and be like the others," and then at the end of it, she learns the lesson and goes the other way.
Oh, so they made her intentionally boring and plain.
I think so.
Okay.
Because like all the other princesses kind of have their own thing going on, and then
Well-
they get married. Whereas she was like, "I just want to get married," and then she saves the world.
Can we all agree right now? Tangled is a way better film than Frozen.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I can agree.
Yeah,
with
well,
that.
yeah.
Really?
I agree with that. Definitely.
Most people I've talked to like they're like yes, but like Frozen killed because I guess it was just so popular with kids.
I
But
guess.
Tangled, I think Tangled doesn't get as much recognition as it deserves because it really
Yeah.
brought Disney back. When it came out, it was like it felt like old Disney.
It did, yeah.
It was just like there was the songs are beautiful in that movie. The story, it went real dark at sometimes.
Yeah.
It made me cry. Like the animation was beautiful. It was like when they
They're
first
good characters.
they
really
they
good
took they
characters.
took they
Flynn,
took the
I
old
think,
tradition.
is one of the best characters as well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
shit, he's up there for the princes. He's
sexy.
gorgeous.
Fuck, my
my
Zachary
Levi.
has changed so much. But
Yeah.
We're in our element here.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, because it was when they changed as well from the 2D to the CGI. They essentially took that formula and put it in the CGI
Yeah.
animation, and it really felt because up to that point they did kind of
Well, the Princess and the Frog was no good, really. I don't think in the box office or like
Yeah, because John
yeah,
Lasseter.
like people just if you ask them
yeah.
to name Disney
Most
movies,
people
people just
wouldn't
forget
even
about
think
that
of
one. Yeah.
it was
That-
like a 2D
yeah.
one that came when 2D was probably done.
Yeah, that was
Well,
kind
I
of the
would've
last
loved it to bring it
nail in the
back,
coffin. I
but-
loved 2D animation. I loved it, and I was so happy when they brought it back. But just nothing about that movie really appealed to me
No,
that
not
much.
really.
And I have seen it, but I don't remember much about it because that was John Lasseter said to them. Because up to that point, they'd done kind of weird films like Chicken Little and Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah,
and
that was so weird.
Bolt, which I actually don't mind Bolt.
I thought
But it's
Bolt
just
was
not.
good the
It's
first time I
not to
watched
the.
it.
It's not to the level of like their older stuff. And John Lasseter was like, "You guys need to go back to your roots," and so that's what they did. They went so far. They went back to 2D. They did Princess and the Frog. They did a Princess Story, and it just wasn't that great. I don't think. But
It
a
led
couple
into-
years later, they did Tangled, and that was like
Smashed it.
And then
That
was
was great. And I think that
Merida
gave them the
after
confidence
that?
to do
Was
Frozen.
Brave next, or was Brave?
Brave
before?
was after Tangled, yeah, but Brave was Pixar. But
Oh,
I guess
okay.
she's just such a
It
good
was so
kind of
it's
character.
so similar though, like stylistically.
Well,
and-
that's sort of Disney and Pixar. They're kind of it's hard
Yeah.
to it's
It's-
more
it
it's
is
harder
hard.
to differentiate
Yeah.
them now because they both are doing CGI.
Fuck
And I
them.
guess Brave was a good character and a really
Brave
good
was
film
after
that
Tangled.
they nabbed her and but like we're gonna put her in a Disney princess catalog.
To rank those two movies though, I think I agree that Tangled is way underrated than what it should be, but Frozen I think had maybe the better twist. I don't know. It's hard for me to define what I liked about Frozen because it's hard. I don't even know if it's better, but there was a moment in Frozen where my heart stopped beating for like a second. I was like, oh
the
crap.
twist, like with Frozen's old. We can say it.
Spoiler alert.
What's his face? What's his name?
Hans
becomes bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're just hating on it slightly more because it became such a ridiculously big
and I don't want to
success.
fall into that trap. Like I think it was overhyped, and I think Tangled was underhyped. But I think they're
Necessarily
pretty much
means,
on the same kind of level, I guess.
I need to watch it back to back.
Tangled over the. I just think Tangled has so much more memorable characters and stuff like that. Like Flynn.
Well, I think Tangled focuses more because there's only the two, whereas Frozen has four.
Yeah, instead of a twist, it was more like there was a revelation that had to happen that you knew had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Like Rapunzel finding out that her fake mother was evil. And the whole time I was like, how are they going to resolve this? Like this is such a dark thing. If you in real life found out your mother had been like keeping you enslaved to keep her young that whole time, and they dealt with it so well. Like the character's like crying and screaming and she's like grapples her with the chains and throws her in the dungeon. It's shit's got dark, man. The movie's great.
It is a great movie.
And all the songs are so like lovely and
they
like
are great.
And like the ending's so beautiful.
I mean, there's some great big like I don't want to call them set pieces, but great big scenes like in that dam and whatever.
And stuff.
And the
like,
lanterns. The lanterns are so iconic.
Yeah,
fuck, they had a lot going on, didn't
it was
they?
beautiful.
Frozen had that a bit as well with the ice castle and stuff. And that I mean, Let It Go. We've all heard it a million times. We hate the song, but the scene where she's like storming up that hill and making her own palace. That's cool. That is cool.
I mean, and there is, Frozen, don't get me wrong, like, I enjoyed Frozen, but I remember when they put the poster out, and it looked like copy and paste Tangled, though, I remember.
Yeah.
Like, Anna and Elsa looked just like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
And, like, there was the reindeer, I forgot his name, but he looked just like the horse from Tangled, and it was like, what is this? But I guess when you think about it, it's like, that's kind of like a lot of Disney movies. Like there is like the animal sidekick. Like they all have.
Oh, they all look the same.
Yeah, but the horse was so good. Like in Tangled, like Maximus, whatever. Like,
and I think
and all the banter and whatnot.
I think the horse was.
That's the reindeer.
Well, that's the reindeer. Yeah, Maximus was the horse.
Sven.
Oh, okay.
I think for Frozen, Olaf made it for me. He was so funny.
Well, he's kind of annoying though, wasn't he? I don't know.
Oh,
you like
I thought he killed. Yeah, I loved it.
All right.
And it's funny trying to watch that actor get more work. Because, like...
Well, he's
just like... I hadn't really seen him in anything before that. And now he's like, do you know who I am? I'm Olaf. Put me in all your Disney movies. So, like, I guess...
He is in all of them, too.
Like, he's in Beauty and the Beast now. He's in, like... I've forgotten his name.
I think he's the star of Josh Gad, I'm pretty sure.
Josh Gatz. Yeah,
Gad. I think so. You can look that up
if
you've got the computer.
Yeah,
I just want to, just trust me.
Is Frozen the one? Do they have like the golems or the gnomes or something like that?
The rock trolls.
The rock trolls. Is that in Frozen?
Them.
Yeah. There's a snow giant that Elsa makes.
No, he means the
rock. I know. I'm saying as well as the rock trolls.
That's the rock trolls. Christoph or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's like his family or something.
Yeah.
Well, or
he's a bit of a fixer-upper.
That song goes for like 4 minutes.
That was weird.
The whole trolls bit I thought was
really out of place. Yeah.
It was like, are they Smurfs? They were a bit like Smurfs, and they just
didn't
kind
really
of shoehorn in.
They didn't really address that.
They had no reason to be there, I guess.
The How It Should Have Ended for Frozen's amazing if you've seen that one.
Was that the one where she... Can I say it? She goes to the X mansion.
Yeah, she goes to the X-Men school, which is kind of like what we're talking about. But
yeah,
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
No, but the start part, because the trolls are like, you need to teach her love. Like love heals, and they're like, so what you're saying is we lock her in a tower, and they're like, what? No. And then she's like, no, she needs to know like how great the world is. They're like, we'll keep her locked away. And he's like, you're not even listening to me. But I will say the annoying thing, and the good thing, I guess, with Frozen, it was like sisters. Like you don't need men sort of thing, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was like that was good, but there was like the focus on it that like annoyed everybody as well. There was like the counterpoints because it was like finally a Disney film that teaches you don't have to be with a prince, and it was like hello, like all these other films that we've had, like Mulan, like saves China, like that was her story.
Yeah.
It wasn't about getting a prince and meeting a boy. It was about saving China. And honestly, a lot of them are. The only one that's really all about getting a boy, and why I don't think it's a great film, is The Little Mermaid. that whole film is like, ooh, a boy, I want to be a man so I can get with this boy. That's the story.
Alright, are we ranking princes now? Because don't act like you wouldn't have done that for Eric.
I don't really remember Eric. I don't know. It's funny. Goody two shoes. I don't know.
Two shoes.
Flynn Rider right up the top there. I think I agree with you there.
He's pretty cool. Yeah.
I think just because of his because of his personality.
He was
he has a heart.
He's a good looking
too.
dude.
He's like
he's got something about him. He's not just like
rogue. He's the roguish. He's the roguish type. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Because a lot of the princes don't have.
Oh, take it back, Lee Shang.
Look at him. He's like,
look
how could you not vote
I'll put
for me?
a photo up. Look at that. Oh,
is that the guy from Aladdin?
How could you not vote for me?
Yeah, he's a
when she like falls down and she can't carry the buckets of water, he just like picks it up and puts 2 on, and he's got the 2 and he just like runs off.
And we all got a little flutter when he did that.
You, Lee Shang. I want to be you. I want to be.
So are we just doing animated ones or the real life ones?
Oh, you mean like Beauty and the Beast?
Well,
like
because yeah. I was saying to you guys before we started, because or was it during the podcast? I can't remember. But the guy from the live action Maleficent who plays Prince Charming or whatever.
Is it Rob Stark or is that from something else?
Nah, that's...
What am I thinking of?
That's
Into the Woods?
No, that's the live action
Into the Woods.
Cinderella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, directed by Kenneth Branagh, I think. The guy from... He's in that like Egypt movie. He's like a... You know, the one with the gods of Egypt or whatever it is.
Well, I never saw Gods of Egypt.
Didn't you?
Oh, with the Titan people walking around.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, all good.
That would be my pick if we were doing live action.
Talking about this dude? Prince Philip?
Maybe, yeah. What's his name? What's the actor's name? Like
Brenton Thwaites.
Oh, that dude! You bang on about him all the time.
Yeah, I know. He's like my man crush.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
He looks like he's 12 years old, bro. Put
No,
up a photo of that
like,
as well.
He's like 20 something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not to get too far away from it, but I was actually talking about this the other, I think it was earlier today or yesterday. Like people seem to do have a selective memory when it comes to like Hollywood stuff, like the Frozen, like when things set an example, like with Atomic Blonde, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Charlize Theron is an action star, she can be one of the guys, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, I knew this already, like I was never questioned this, and it, like my girlfriend was like, isn't Kill Bill like that? I'm like, Kill Bill is like that. That's all girls, like women fighting other women, like strong women.
Yeah,
that's all that film is.
Ages ago.
And people just like forget about it, or Hollywood forgets about it. They don't seem to build upon that. It's like women need to keep proving themselves with these new films.
That's a good point.
Why? Like, why do we have these selective memory? And it's like people need something to rally behind, even though we talked about this with video games.
Yeah.
They're trying to get more female protagonists, and they're like, oh, female games don't work. It's like, well, what about Tomb Raider? That clearly works.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just an odd climate and odd, what's the word, industry that it is.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Alright.
I don't have any... Yeah.
Hottest prince for you?
I think Elsa, or maybe Emma Watson if we're doing live action. I don't know.
Did you say Meg before?
Oh yeah, maybe Meg. Well, I said
That's
Elsa
what we keep
first.
forgetting, yeah.
I said Elsa first, and then I said maybe Meg.
Alright. I'll go with Jasmine, and I'll say Lee Shang.
Oh, and Prince Philip for me, yeah. But the live action version.
We'll go with Belle and Flynn, I reckon.
Belle and Flynn.
Belle and Flynn.
And now we're just going to ship these. Next week, it'll be us putting out fan fictions and stuff.
Oh, God. Let's fucking do it.
No, let's not. Let's definitely not.
Let's stop there.
But
I'm really
easily
uncomfortable
dressed
with
up as Aladdin. He just has like a thing like that. Like he
a
just
purple
has this.
vest.
Oh,
Yeah, and
he's
parachute
pretty
pins.
spunky, yeah.
And the fez.
The fez.
Is that what it is? Anyway, so I keep looking at his screen getting distracted. Alright, let's move on to the last topic, Sean.
Alright, so my topic was, we've addressed it a little bit, so it'll be probably quick, but it was the best princess power. So we've talked about the powers, I guess, already in terms of going into the MCU. I didn't expect us to go into that much detail with it, but which do you think is the best power?
So to recap, we've got ice powers with Elsa.
Yeah, and that's
We've
it.
got talking to animals with
No, well, like the
Ariel.
hair that can heal people and glows in the
healing.
dark.
Yeah.
And you got Snow White can call upon her army of the forest animals.
You got Sleeping Beauty can sleep without being woken up, without being
Until she
made
gets
out with.
kissed.
It's a great power. Yeah.
I like that
You're
one.
a real ass. Yeah, he's like, you're a real asset to the team, Aurora.
I was thinking of Ariel if she gets like her dad's
I do-
trident.
No,
but-
you know when the Cap jumps out of like the helicopter and
Yeah.
the soldier? I do like the Aurora just it's like a Cinderella. It's just like oh my god. I'm like, Aurora, goddammit!
Stop napping. You like have a guy with her all the time, just keep waking her up.
Yeah.
Keep kissing her.
Keep kissing her. God damn it!
That's hilarious.
You're not even like useful when you are awake. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the plot of The Hobbit too. He sleeps through the final battle.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What other powers we got?
What other Elsa
Meredith's
wins,
pretty.
I feel.
Well,
She's the most versatile.
She's got.
I forgot
a
I
about
get
legit
hot
power.
buddies that like I would love to just like ice myself down, or have someone to just like shoot
Cool
ice
you
at
off.
me. Yeah.
Professor X is well, like I don't know.
Well, that's one of my.
I don't need
favorite-
to worry about you using your powers for good or evil. You're just like, oh, I have ice powers. Great, I can cool myself
I'm just
down.
like I'm just like cooling people.
Never gonna sweat again.
Well, one of my favorite scenes, like
Chill my
out of
whiskey.
any movie, like not even just superhero, just one of my favorite scenes in cinematic history is the scene in X-Men 2 where Hugh Jackman comes downstairs and Frozone's like sitting at the table. Is it not Frozone?
Frozone?
Incredibles. Iceman. Bobby.
Where is my super suit?
He's like sitting at the table, and and Wolverine goes to all the cupboards. And he's like, "Is there any beer?" And Bobby's like, "This is a school." And he's like, "Well, is there anything besides chocolate milk?" He's like, "There's some soda in that cupboard up there." And he gets it, and Hugh Jackman goes like this, and he looks at him, and
He doesn't
gives him
say
the-
anything,
and then
yeah.
he gives him the glass, and Bobby just grabs it, and goes, and
Yeah,
he just like
Oh,
and
cool.
ices, and then he takes it back and he drinks it. And I was like, "That's so cool."
But one of the most
Cool.
iconic things.
They don't even
about,
talk
like,
to each other. He's just like gives it
He
to
just
him,
knows,
and he
yeah.
knows, and he just like breathes on it. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I love that scene."
Just have people coming up to you.
And
Like,
I'd be
hey,
that ice bear, yeah.
could you breathe on my face a little bit?
They're like, we'll pay you, like, no air conditioning anymore. Just like, it's just me cooling down. Stuff like that.
But like superhero films, the scenes where they're using their powers not to fight, but just like around the house, are always like the best.
They're
scenes.
always so
Yeah.
good because
Like
you just want
Fantastic
that.
Four,
You
they
just
do that,
want
and he like
that.
stretches his arm out, gets like toilet paper or something.
I
Or The
always want it
Incredibles,
to
he just
be-
like picks up the furniture so she can.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's always the best.
It is. I for years, all I wanted to be a Jedi. Not for the flips and everything. Literally, so when I got into bed
Move
and I
the
forgot
remote.
to like turn my light off, I could just be like,
Because we all tried that,
And
didn't
just
we?
turn-
We all
yeah, you're
sat
like-
in bed and we
you're
were
like-
like,
I believe,
I
I
thought-
believe,
I
you
thought
like
you-
Piccolo style.
I thought so you could sit there and like get the sheets over the top of you, even though you could just
Well,
reach them down.
that's too
that's
lazy.
worse.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh no, I can lean
That's
down and grab
unprofessional of
something.
you, Jack.
I just want to get back out of bed once you get in. You just like turn the light
Oh,
off.
and you could like kind of force yourself up, like straight up like
No,
that.
you could just sit up, Felix.
You could just levitate yourself. You could do everything. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Having the force would be great.
Yeah.
Like on a domestic level.
Yeah.
You just realised this now. You're
Jedi.
like, what are you,
You
23?
can.
Well, you know, you only ever
I
see
guess
people using it
controlling
to
the
like
universe
to
with
get
my-
your lightsaber.
my
I don't have a
mind.
lightsaber. I
Yeah, but
can't.
you just use it for just to feed
Make-
your laziness.
open up the
Just
fridge
like,
and-
yeah, just like I want an apple. And you're like,
Yeah, why are they not all like mega fat? Because they can just like open up the fridge and get the chocolate milk and just like open their mouth.
I feel like sloth is like not part of the Jedi Order. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
stop
probably
abusing
banned.
your force powers, Anakin. He's just like,
It's just a
chocolate milk.
fucking huge dude.
Oh my god.
Actually, that's how you get Hutts. They're actually Jedi who become too lazy. Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. That's in their origin story.
And then why does he not use the force?
Because
Oh, he
he
forgot.
got it taken away.
Oh,
Yeah, it's-
Once you
he's
hit,
so
like,
fat he
you
can't
hit
move his
peak-
arms
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
You
yeah.
hit peak
No,
like
he actually
obesity.
all of his force powers are dedicated to moving because he's that heavy.
Oh, it takes too much
just
willpower
like-
and
yeah,
concentration.
to roll him over the floor. Yeah.
Well, what are
How-
other Disney
how did we get
princesses
to
that
here?
have other powers?
Disney princesses with powers. Yeah.
Well,
Well, see, I was thinking.
Elsa's, like I said, not actually in the Disney princesses.
See, that's
Well, we're
weird
taking out
too.
Elsa
That's
then.
a weird classification. So who else is there? You've got the list, don't you? Can you
Yeah,
even do
there's
that.
the
Merida
chick that can
is
turn
a
into
badass.
a.
I'd probably
Merida's
be
just got
Merida.
mad skills
Yeah,
with a
I'd probably
bow.
just be Merida,
The
she's
chick
a
that can
badass.
turn herself into a frog, which we all know we would pick over anything else. That's honestly about it.
Really?
Uh,
I know Kita's not part of the main
Aladdin.
group,
Not Aladdin.
but Kita
Jasmine.
from Atlantis, she speaks like 12 languages or whatever.
I mean,
I'd be
that's
her.
cool.
That'd be good to be like that bilingual.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think.
What is it? Like dodecalingual?
Does it go up
But it's
like
like,
that?
I don't know,
Trilingual
I
and
guess.
whatnot?
Just being
Oh.
able to talk to people.
Just to have the other languages.
I wish I could. Talk
It
to
would be
people.
cool, but it's not like in battle. What do you do?
You
just you
negotiate.
freak out. I like
You negotiate.
the aliens come down like
Yeah, but you don't. Do you
and
know?
she just like back to them like, oh shit, this bitch speaks a language. Like, let's get out of
that
here.
she's
How
never
would
even
she
heard
learn
of.
to speak.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Cree, yeah.
Give me like 45 minutes. And
How did she learn to speak English when Atlantis was embedded underground for like 1,000 years?
That's true.
She just picks it up. It all originates from Latin. I don't know.
Atlantis is a great movie.
It's fantastic. So much of my the way I look at stories and write, it's like I base it on that. And yeah, it didn't do that well, so maybe I shouldn't do that. You know,
I'm gonna be the next Atlantis. Great.
Yeah, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah, well, it's stuck around in our I don't know, subconscious. It's still a classic. Most people love it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was what people talk about. It was the early 2000s, like turn of the century, and you had that kind of more off the wall stuff.
But like Sinbad.
I feel like Atlantis is like...
See, Sinbad, that kind of thing, yeah.
Well, that was DreamWorks. That was when they were
still, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a really good film.
They were still holding on to the 2D as well.
I watch that. I watch that like once a year, man.
But it's Sinbad, El Dorado, and then Prince of Egypt.
Oh, even Prince of Egypt is great.
I never saw that one.
I've not seen that one.
That's the DreamWorks 2D.
We should watch that.
Then they switched and they started doing the CG as well. And same with Disney. But that little stint where they did like stuff that was more off the wall stuff, like Emperor's New Groove and Atlantis. Man. That real turn of the century stuff.
That's the superpower.
It was more. It wasn't because it was. And Lilo and Stitch. It didn't stick to those traditional norms, and it was just like a lot more goofy and a lot more a lot more bizarre. But they were just so endearing, I thought. And then they kind of went too far with that kind of wackiness. And then, like I said, you got stuff like Chicken Little. Yeah. And
but I think they kind of had
did you see Home on the Range? That movie's awful.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't remember any of
that
it
when I was a kid.
But I just remember
there's like a cow
disgusted.
and there's like a mine shaft thing.
It was very strange. That was like their last 2D film, well, before Princess and the Frog.
But they did have like a second wave of like those cool, goofy movies that were 3D, like Monsters vs. Aliens. I think that is great.
Yeah,
is that DreamWorks?
I can't remember. It's by...
I'm going to have to watch that again because I don't remember much about that.
Oh man, I'll watch it with you. I do love it. But there was also Megamind. That was great.
Megamind, that's DreamWorks. I love Megamind.
How to Train Your Dragon. Not an original film, but like that kind of second wave of like...
Yeah, that DreamWorks found their footing, I think, around that. Yeah, they do have a lot of good films.
They have some great films. So underrated films too.
I think they do that thing that sort of Sony Pictures do. They do like the kind of sellout stuff, you know, like Smurfs or whatever, like that.
Yeah, why is there being like 3 Smurfs and not like a Megamind 2?
Because it makes money.
Fuck, they punch out some
so
movies.
Gross.
I know.
Wall-E.
Well, it's Pixar, yeah.
I was never that sold on Wall-E.
Neither was I.
It's kind of cute, but it felt like it could have been
some
a
people's
short.
favorite film. Well, I like it as a short. I love Bernie, which is like the short movie that's on the DVD.
Yeah,
and that's like 10 times better than Wall-E in my opinion. Just
if Wall-E was like 10
short.
or 15 minutes, it would have been a really good film.
And people always talk like, because I love Pixar's first film, which is the one with the lamp. Luxo, it's why they have a lamp on their logo that jumps. And
that was their first little line.
That was their first little short film, and the emotion in the lamp, like the way it's like is sad and then it's like excited and stuff, and it's just this lamp, and there's no face on it, but the way they emote it is so cool.
They've lost that a little bit now. I think.
Well, they have such. I mean, that's the thing is like they didn't have the best technology back then, so they had to have simple things and just like use their animation techniques. But now they have so many polygons and so much processing power that they can do these beautifully rendered characters. And you do, you lose a bit of that, and you see it in gaming a lot too. It's like these characters, beautiful textures, but they just talk like this and they don't move at all, or whatever. Like the new Ratchet and Clank in 2016. Whereas if you watch the old Ratchet and Clank, it's like it's like all squarey and like it's all kind of pixelated, but it moves, like it stretches and squashes, and it's awesome.
This is what I always talk about with like the Lego stuff. I love the Lego stuff, and it's like I wish every game ever was made with like the Lego graphics, because like there's so much diversity with the characters and the powers and the abilities. It's like, who cares if it doesn't look like a real person? Like, do we need that kind of level
That's what they always say.
detail?
Like, hyper realism, like people seem to want, but like stylistic stuff always holds up better, like especially more so in gaming. Like if you look at because like at the time a realistic game, you're like, this is realistic, then you look at it like 5 years later,
not even 5 years,
like it looks horrible. Whereas like
better
I
off
think
having something that's stylistic and fun,
stuff that's more stylized, like I love the game Limbo, and that's
like
from 2010, and that, like Borderlands, that stuff, that looks amazing. That's really cool.
Overwatch will stand up for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's I going with this?
Well, you know, Tracer doesn't look real. Winston doesn't look like a real gorilla.
Well, that's almost like the peak. Is like animations come so far with gaming. You have stuff like Overwatch that almost looks kind of like that Disney style. Like it's so colorful and character driven and creative. But my point that I was saying though was with the lamp, and then when they did with Wall-E, I remember a friend said to me, and I was like, "What's the deal with this Wall-E? Like he's the robot." And my friend was like, "Oh, it's just like it's so beautiful the way he's a robot, but they can make him emote so well." And I was like, I was like, no, because they didn't set themselves like a wall. Like if you watch Wall-E, every part of him moves. Like there's no restriction on what they can move. He's got eyes, and his arms come out, and he has like eyelids somehow, like the goggles, and they zoom.
But he also
in
has like eyebrows,
and like that part there is like
wipers.
eyebrows. Like I'm like they and it's like he emotes really well because they allowed him to emote. well. They gave
set him up
so much points of articulation that they could just like
it's too easy.
It is.
Whereas with a lamp, they could have 3 degrees.
It's like literally 3 movements. Yeah, and I was like, it's more. It's
Eve is my favorite Disney princess.
It's more. Less is what's the word? They did more with less.
Less is more. I guess.
Less is more. Yeah.
Simple. I don't know. What are you trying to say?
Less is more. Yeah.
Less
they
is
did. They did more with less.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't set yourself that sort of barrier, but I don't know. I recognize that there's something in Wall-E that I just didn't quite connect with that a lot of other people do.
It was a weird mashup anyway, though.
It shouldn't have gone for as long as it did.
It was so long, and the message was really preachy, like the environmental.
Stop being lazy.
And then they had the live action stuff anyway, which was just weird.
That didn't make any good. Yeah, that didn't make any sense. That was really.
Was John Goodman the fat guy in the chair?
No, it's not John Goodman. It's somebody else. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. It's all weird. The whole thing is just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do like.
You're talking about the live action stuff, like the replays of what Earth used to be. Yeah,
and it's the guy from.
They were cartoonized.
It's that old guy. I can't remember his name.
Fred Willard, I want to say.
Something like that.
Yeah. I do like Eve though, and I like the way they sort of had Wall-E as like it's like it's not so subtle, but it's like Wall-E's PC and Eve is a Mac. Yeah. Because she's like white and pristine. Yeah. And she works. She works. Which is funny because I hate Macs. Oh, they're okay. I'm more of a PC person.
Yeah, I don't know how we got onto Wall-E and
but Disney
I think we've probably covered it pretty well.
Exhausted. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, the other powers that these Disney princesses.
There's not a whole lot, mate. Yeah.
My question, I think it would have been more interesting if we hadn't already talked about it. But I think you guys are right.
Because the powers are what you'd want.
Yeah.
In an
Avengers
group.
I didn't even think of Elsa though. So when I was thinking of this question, I was like, oh, they're pretty evenly balanced. Like they've all got like subtle things that they can do. And then you guys were like, oh yeah, well she can create avalanches and snowstorms. And I was like, oh,
and life.
Yeah. And life. She's like the god of winter.
Yeah.
I was like, alright,
OP.
she wins.
They need the other,
she's OP.
They need the other Disney princesses to become it.
Elsa's OP.
I can't wait for the Princesses Avengers.
That's why they won't let her into
the team up amalgamation film. That's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it's
5 years away, guaranteed.
Yeah. I do like that. What's the name of the Princess and the Frog?
Tiana.
She's like, you would like me when I'm angry, and she's like, rah, and it's like she turns green and then shrinks.
It's like a useful combination of the Hulk and Ant-Man. But I can jump as well.
It's like not as strong and
I'm
fragile.
I'm keen for the next Rick and Morty episode because it looks like it's going to be a spoof on sort of the Avengers type. Like, it seems to be a grab bag of superheroes.
Yeah.
And there's a guy. There was like a little promo, and it was like there's a character named 1,000 Ants, and he's literally just 1,000 ants.
I've watched it. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I will watch it again after this.
I know.
It comes out Monday.
Well, I want to watch it. I want to watch Game of Thrones.
I'm not good at all that tech stuff, so
I watch it on Netflix. They released it on Facebook. There's like on Facebook at like 2 o'clock.
Send me the link. I don't understand.
It's just there. It's literally just like a Facebook video. Anyway, I'll send
that would be great though. Yeah.
Oh, it's very funny. Yeah.
Oh, I'm keen. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap up, guys.
Yep.
That was fun.
Disney Princess Edition. Next time we do this, we will be wearing wigs.
Stay tuned. Well, hopefully that scene that they've teased in Wreck-It Ralph 2 with all the Disney princesses.
Yes. Yeah,
will
becomes available.
All the questions.
Yeah.
Of who's like the most powerful and whatnot.
Who's the most hot as well.
Yeah.
Who's the most hot?
I wonder if they'll do the princess.
I wonder if they'll look the same as they did in them. They wouldn't, would they?
Do they
They'd have their own
rights?
animation style, right? What to make them look
exactly the same?
I wonder
if they will. That's
Who is Wreck-It Ralph? Is that Disney or Pixar?
Pixar.
It's just Disney. So they can do
sorry,
it.
Yeah, Disney. Just
I wonder if they'll.
Disney.
That's actually really interesting because. Yeah, I wonder if they will recreate
because if they,
them in 3D.
To be fair, it will you remember the bad guys sitting around doing their bad guy thing? Like they were all had the same kind of style, but they were still like rounded and smooth and like had nice colors like you would expect of a Disney movie of this age.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't think they'll look exactly like what they did in any
They'll probably have some sort of
three-dimensional movie that they had.
Because even like
yeah.
Disney Infinity, that video game, and that's really cool because it's across Marvel, Disney, Pixar, and Star Wars. But they have like this style, and they all seem to kind
Star
of
Wars
fit into
in
that
Infinity?
style. Mm-hmm.
But it's not in Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Oh, fingers crossed.
That's why I
Disney
think
Infinity
Disney
had
were worried
everything.
about Kingdom Hearts because it took away from Disney Infinity. But I don't think Disney Infinity, the game, took off as well as they hoped.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it was like the highest selling Christmas toy, like in 2015 or something. I remember that because it was on a trivia
everyone had to
question.
pay
It
so
was
much money
genuinely
for
like
these
the
figurines.
biggest game.
I think it was like that they call it Toys for Life, like 'cause it was Skylanders and Amiibos and the Disney Infinity and stuff
And
like
they're
that.
so
I think it
expensive.
all started. I think it started to peak maybe. I think
yeah,
Skylanders,
they were right on the
Skylanders
other
was
side
like
of
the
the
highest selling game of like 2010 or 2012. That was that Toys for Life stuff.
Anyway.
That's another topic. All right, guys, that's
Thank you
for listening.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
See ya.